I have searched many years on end. There was none that my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence in here. This very hour, for your presence in here. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek. I have searched many years on end. There was none that my soul could depend. My soul cries out for your presence in here. This very hour, for your presence in here. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek. In your presence I am free from the chain that has bound me. In your presence I am calm, waiting for the kingdom come. In your presence I am free from the chain that has bound me. In your presence I am calm, waiting for the kingdom come. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the peace I seek. In His name I find, in His name I find, in His name I find the joy I seek.
Hey guys, welcome. We are live from the house. I'm Danielle Devine.
I'm Marco Solo.
And we are here. It's a beautiful Monday night. And as we continue our series called Loving Jesus. Mark, do you love Jesus?
You bet I do.
I am here with Mark. He is the beginning of the lineup tonight, and this will be a delightful interview where I hope you laugh a lot And we get to talk about him and his friendship with God, which leads us into Lisa's teaching, which is the second part of our series second part of our teachings on relationship with God. I spoke on Saturday about God being our Father, and Lisa tonight is going to talk about building relationship with God and what that looks like practically. Mark, do you have a relationship with God? Did I already ask you that?
Yes, I have. God is our loving Father.
Yeah, he is. Did you enjoy church yesterday?
Yes, I did. I saw on the broadcast online.
Are you watching the live broadcast?
I always have.
Yeah, you always have. Yes, you have.
I was doing the comments.
I know, you're doing the comments. Sometimes a few too many comments.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You crack me up.
I always do.
I know, you always crack me up.
I know that.
Why are you talking like that? Can we just have a conversation?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right, Mark, let's get into it. You are my brother.
Always.
Mark Orsillo. And you probably, of all the Orsillos, you are the most famous one.
That's right, I do.
Actually, in the church, you're the most famous person in our whole church.
That's right.
All right. You know that?
Yes.
Yeah, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you famous?
Because I go to church.
No, that's not why you're famous, because you go to church. What happened? Do you remember what happened with the Facebook video? Do you remember that?
The one I put him on my Facebook all the time. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Mark has a page called Mark on Life, and that started because your parents' house, your house, burnt down in a wildfire, didn't it, a couple years ago?
It was. Now it's new.
Yeah, now it's new, but your house burned up and your DVDs burn up, right? Do you remember that? You do. That was a bad day.
Yes.
And I sent out a Facebook post asking people to help me get you DVDs, and when you saw those DVDs, did you freak out?
No, when I came back from camp,
Yeah.
I was so excited.
So you came back from camp on a Friday, and there were DVDs everywhere, weren't they?
Yeah.
And you were excited?
I was like,
Do it again. I love you so much. Now, this is why we have Mark on, because he's going to teach us how to love Jesus with joy, and he's going to talk to us about being a friend to God, because if there's something that my brother has figured out, it's being God's friend. But first, we want to show them that video, don't we, that went viral?
Yes.
Millions and millions of views. We're going to show you that video right now. Say, roll the tape.
Roll the tape.
Those are all your movies, dude.
I gotta find this!
What is that?
What is this?
Mark, are you excited?
Right now.
These are all your new videos.
Mark, which one are you gonna watch first?
What is it?
All of them. Look at these, too. Look at all of Look at these movies! Look at all these movies! They're all on the wall! Woo! Woo! Look at all these, baby! I got all Power Rangers! Sesame Angels! More Power Rangers! More Power Rangers! And again! And again! Ooh, more Power Rangers! Look at all these movies! Oh, and I'm gonna get in there.
Oh, I got some bad news for you. These are actually my movies.
Oh, guess what? I'm I always keep these movies for a long time, and thank you. I'm a movie heaven.
Movie
heaven.
Wasn't that a good video? You are so awesome.
I know I am.
You know you are. See, that's what I love about you. You know who you are.
Yes.
And you are God's friend, aren't you?
Yes.
What is it like to be God's friend?
Well, I'm his son, because God is my father.
That's right. God is your father, and you are his son.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you?
Well, because I know God is in my life.
He is, huh? You became a Christian. Mark's always been a Christian. There was never a moment that you just gave your life to Jesus, was there? You were always God's son.
I'm always been a good godson.
You have been a good godson. And it was so fun growing up with you.
I know, I have been.
Christmas mornings are the best. Birthdays are the best.
I get everything I want.
You get
on
everything.
my birthday.
You get everything you want for your birthday?
Yes.
You just celebrated your birthday a couple weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, that was a small group.
That was a small group because we're in quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah. But you still got everything you wanted.
Yes, I do.
What was your favorite gift that you got for your birthday?
You got me clothes.
I did. Did you wear them?
I did. And I have a bar of soap, too.
Oh, yeah. I got you a bar of soap.
Yes.
Did you need it?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. So, as long as we're talking about cleaning situations,
Yes.
let's talk about many years ago when I was living with you and mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to go use my toothbrush. Do you remember what happened to that in that story?
When I was cleaning my hearing aids,
Yeah, with what?
Danielle got mad.
Yeah, what were you using to clean your hearing aids?
Danielle's toothbrush.
My toothbrush. And it's been long enough now that I'm laughing about it.
I know, that's
Did
why
you-
she's crazy about it.
So I'm sitting there brushing my teeth, minding my own business, and you come into the room and you say what?
And I said, can I clean my hearing aids?
No, you said, oh, that's the toothbrush I used to clean my hearing aids. And
I did.
Yeah, and I'm in the middle of brushing my teeth.
That's right.
That was a bad day.
And you're like,
Yes, I overreacted probably.
that was before you dropped me up at the lighthouse.
That was before I yelled. Did I yell at you all the way down the hill
Yes.
to drop you off at the lighthouse?
Yes.
I didn't really yell at you, did I?
No.
Okay, what did I do?
You guys so mad.
I got so Yeah, I think everybody. How would you feel if your brother walks in and you're brushing your teeth and he said, oh, that's the toothbrush I used to clean my hearing aids. Now, the reason this guy has hearing aids is because his ears are so waxy.
That's right, I did.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so now I got to talk to you about your friends.
Go ahead.
You have these really good friends.
I do.
Yeah, and I'm your favorite person on the planet.
Yes.
Okay, but recently you told me that Jacob Budd was your favorite.
He is.
He is your favorite? So who's your favorite, me or Jacob?
Well, you're my sister.
Okay.
And Jacob is my favorite brother.
I wouldn't say that either because you have a brother. So he's your favorite friend?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Good. You're very diplomatic.
I know I am.
You don't like to pick favorites, do you?
No, I don't.
No, okay. So tell me about your friendships. Who are your friends?
Everybody. When I sit next to the people at the LRM, they're also my friends too.
You like the people from LRM? Is that the recovery ministry?
Yes.
Yeah, those guys are really good to you, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. Who else are your friends?
Ryan Kelly, Jacob Budd,
Yep.
and also Nick,
Jacob Budd, Ryan Kelly. Go ahead.
and all the people I've got to mention. I love my friends, and I give them a big hug.
So I'm giving you the opportunity to talk, which is one of your favorite things to do. And you're barely giving us anything.
Well, I go back there and buy some Snickers every time.
Back in the coffee shop to buy a Snickers drink?
Yes.
Yeah, but the coffee shop isn't open because we're all quarantined.
I know that.
Okay. We have lots of Mark stories, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, tell me about what's a Mark story we should talk about?
When I was doing my eyebrows,
Oh, that was a good day. When you shaved your eyebrows. You know, I saw a meme the other day that if you're having a hard time going out and not being quarantined, just shave your eyebrows off and you probably won't have a hard time going out. But that's not the case for you. You had no problem going out.
that's right, I don't.
No, you got new shavers. You got new shavers for Christmas, didn't you?
I did.
You got new shavers for Christmas. And I'll
It was
never
electric.
forget, you were using your new shavers. It was before school. And me and Anthony and Mom were all trying to get into the bathroom, weren't we?
And I locked the door.
You did. You locked the door. Mm-hmm. And what did you do when you got to take your glasses off for this, though. What did you do when you finally opened the door? Did we just stare at you?
Yes.
Yeah, were we surprised?
You were laughing hard.
We're laughing hard because you shaved your eyebrows off and your forehead looked like it was 8 miles long.
I was Mr. Vulcanhead.
Mr. Vulcanhead, yes, Mr. Vulcanhead, okay? Vulcan, like Star Trek.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
this.
okay, yeah. And you went to school and we said, keep your glasses on because we don't want anyone to see your eyebrows. And what did you do?
I took them off.
You took them off. Mark, we only have a couple seconds. Is there anything else you want to say or talk about?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go for it.
I love to be part of this podcast.
You love
in the house.
This is a broadcast.
It's an interview in the house.
Yeah, it is. It's an interview in the house.
Time's up.
He saw the clock is flashing at us, so yes, the time is up. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I
We
did.
had so much fun with you. You're so amazing.
I know.
And don't ever use my toothbrush again to brush your teeth.
Oh, boy.
I mean, brush your hearing aids. Are you ever going to do that again?
I guess not.
No, I guess not either. Anyways, stay tuned. Like I said earlier, we're going to have Lisa Kelly teaching us how to build relationship with God. That's going to be
right.
good, isn't it? You love Lisa Kelly, don't you?
Of course I do.
Yeah, and then stay tuned again, because tomorrow night we're going to have more from Sarah Budd on how to put our faith in action, in living out our faith.
That's right, we have.
All right.
Hey everybody, my name is Lisa Kelly. Tonight I'm going to be bringing you part 6 of this 10-part series about loving Jesus. The last one was from Danielle about how to make God our Father. And that's just such an incredibly important part of this whole journey. If you didn't listen to it, you definitely want to go back and hear it. Just really, really powerful stuff. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about how to make God your friend, how to build that relationship. And just one of the things that came up, so many did because it's such an incredibly powerful thing, that relationship with Jesus. But one of them was this idea that a lot of people, for whatever reason, they don't believe that he actually wants a relationship with them. It might be that your parents treated you in such a way that you felt like you're not worth getting close to, and maybe nobody wants that with you. It might be that somebody said that they were representing Jesus, but didn't, and didn't love you very well, and made it seem like maybe he doesn't love you very much. And if that's you, I just want to tell you tonight that he does love you. He would love a second chance with you, for you to get to know him for real, for who he really is. From what I've seen in my life and in other people's lives, but what I've seen just from my own history with him, is that he was pursuing me before I even knew, how to pursue him back. And he did it in such a way that it really caught my attention, like mine specifically. I respond to inside jokes. That's like my love language. And he was always talking to me in inside jokes. Literally, they would be on billboards as I was walking past or driving past. In like conversations with other people, they would say something not knowing it's an inside joke between me and Jesus. Just like crazy stuff like that. It would be really hard to convince me that Jesus doesn't want a relationship with me. Just from what I've seen of him. And I hope that if you're sitting there listening to this, that you'll give him a chance to show you the same thing. And it's going to be personal to you, because he knows each one of us. He's designed each one of us. He knows what you respond to. He knows what you like. And if you would do that tonight, we're going to pray about it later. But if you would dare to just give him that chance again, to get your hopes up again, I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. He will change your life. He's done that for me. Over all the years, through all the hard things, what's made the biggest difference is him. And just knowing who he is to me. So tonight I want to talk about how we can develop that relationship. It might be a little bit intimidating at first. Or maybe it's something that you think you've done well for a long time, but it can always get deeper. You can always learn more of him. So we're going to dive into that tonight. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about reading the Bible, just having that anchor, really important to just know how to read the Bible and to continually do it to find out what's true, about hearing God's voice, and about worship. I'm saving the best for last, right? Because it's my favorite. But okay, so for the Bible, I'm just going to have to kind of glance over this really, really fast compared to what I could go into. But just for starters, what's really good to know is that there's the Old Covenant and the New Covenant. And both are important, but for different things. So the Old Covenant really shows us who God is. And that's so important to know because he stays the same all the time. It's good to know what he cares about, what he's like, what his characteristics are. And there's a lot of places in the Old Testament that really, they describe that in detail. They describe that well. They show what he is passionate about. And that's what it's really good at showing us, that Old Covenant, the Old Testament, right? And then there's the New Testament and also the New Covenant, where Jesus steps in and he changes everything. There's a new standard now. God himself really tells us, this is my son, listen to him. That's why we know it's so important. We have to find out what Jesus says, what he cares about, what he says is true. Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. What he says is so important. If he's the truth, then I want to know what that is. I want to know what he says. And that's just one of the things that he describes about himself and how important it is to know him, and to know what he says is real, especially in this day and age when we are getting opinions from everybody all the time. This whole thing about like my truth and your truth, and it's just getting really blurry. And yet who Jesus is remains. What he says remains. And so we want to know that. That's this anchor for our relationship with him. When it comes to hearing God's voice and worship and every other aspect of our relationship with him, we need that anchor. We need that to keep us in place. Otherwise it's really easy to just take one little thing that maybe starts off true and then get a little bit off track and kind of, just, okay, I got it from here. I get it. And then go off on our own. And that doesn't work. That never works. We have to remain with what Jesus says and wash everything through his truth, what he says is real. And we can find that in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Just reading the Gospels over and over. I know if you've listened to more of our teaching that you've heard that at some point from Steve, that read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John multiple times. And what that really does is it clears up confusion because we get to hear about Jesus' life and just the new standard. He makes it really clear. It's tough, but it's clear. And it's something that we need to know. And so the more we get to know the Bible, the more we have this anchor of truth, the more we can wash everything through what he says. So just keep getting to know it. Another really important thing is reading in context, because the author's writing to a different culture than we have. He might be writing to just an individual person. There's different reasons for everything that's written. And just a really quick example of that, just to show how important context is, we're going to look at John 8, verse 31 and 32. But usually what we hear is verse 32. So I'll just read that one for you. It is, then you will know the truth and the truth will set you free, which is super exciting, right? Like, cool. If we kind of know who Jesus is, then we'll be free from everything and from sin and depression and anxiety and all this stuff is what it sounds like, right? But let's read the whole thing. So if we start from verse 31, it says, to the Jews who had believed him, Jesus said, if you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. There was an if there. If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. See, it's a little different now, isn't it? There's a standard there. It's actually a condition there. It matters that we see the whole thing. Read the whole chapter. When you hear a verse, just get to know what was all going on. It really changes things. And it helps us know more and more who Jesus is all the time. And so, again, that's just like a little bit about the importance of reading the Bible and just continuing to know more and more about it. Sarah Budd has an incredible Bible study on that too. So definitely check that out when you can. Ask us about how to get a hold of that. So that's for reading the Bible. Next, I want to talk to you about hearing God's voice. Now, this is an incredible one that really just changes everything. When I first learned that I could actually do this, it was like one of my favorite weeks of my life was being taught about that and just starting to practice it, and starting to find out, I can actually hear from him. He talks to me. It's so amazing, and with that whole thing, what we really want to aim for is not just accuracy, but intimacy. Intimacy is the most important part of this. It is not just so that we can read somebody else's mail and kind of just know the answer to something or just ask for what we want. The point is relationship with him. It's friendship with him. Talk to him about everything, and of course, there's all these side benefits of what you find out and, asking him for things. There is that part of it, but it shouldn't be the whole part. We know this from relationships with people. That's not healthy if all you do is ask somebody for things. That's the only time you talk to them. How would they feel? Why do we think that we can do that with Jesus? And so we want it to just be this relationship where we get to talk to him. So again, if we're talking just practical ways of doing this, one of the things that we need to continually do is get rid of our filters. And that comes from hurts from our past, lies that we believe. Unforgiveness can really just change the way that we hear what he says. It changes what we even can hear from him. Because if we don't believe that we're worth anything, he's trying to talk to us about our identity, we just disregard it. Then we only get a portion of what he's saying, and we miss out on this amazing and life-changing thing that he's trying to talk to us about. So keep getting healing. The more healing we get, the more we see Jesus clearly. So just keep going on that journey. All of us need it. I need it. And I've really seen it change in my life. The more I know about him, the more I know about the Bible, which we just talked about, the more I can clearly hear what he says. So make sure that's happening ongoing. But then when you're just going to sit down and talk to him, make sure your mind is just cleared of all the other stuff. Your to-do list is to the side. Quiet your mind. And just ask him something. Jesus, what do you like about me? And then relax. Push your brain to the side, all that logical stuff, because it's going to want to jump in and be in the way. Just ask him. And usually it's going to be the first thing that you hear. And just go with that. Write it down, which is really helpful too, because then you can go back to it later on and just see what he said. And it's just as powerful, if not more, reading it later on to see what he tells you about who you are. Another important thing is to have people with you in this journey of hearing what he says, especially if it's something life-changing, if it's a really big decision, should I move to Africa tomorrow or not? Well, have somebody with you in that, and not just any random person, somebody who has shown that they listen to Jesus, that they know who he is, that they follow him, that they care about their relationship with him, that has been doing it longer than you have. They'll have wisdom that you need. Other people can see stuff that we can't. It's really important to walk in the light with this, to really have people available to help you and to just say, hey, this is what I think I heard from Holy Spirit. What do you think? Again, from somebody trustworthy. It's incredibly helpful. It keeps us anchored in the truth, keeps us from just kind of going off on our own, doing this whole lone wolf Christianity thing that does not turn out well. We got to have that community around us of people who are all going after Jesus together. It's so life-changing. And so that's hearing God's voice. It's something that's developed. Intimacy. Intimacy is something that is developed. It's not instant. It's so different. Even if you start off on the right foot, it's going to develop and change. If you look at Steve and Vicky, when they first met, they loved each other already, but compared to now, it's deepened. You know what I mean? They've been through so much together. It's different and it's good. That's just what happens when you are with somebody and you experience life with them, and you go through things together and you learn more about who they are. It's how relationship works. And the same thing happens with Jesus. The more you get to know him, the deeper your relationship gets. That's the point. We want to just keep doing that till the end of our days, just getting to know him and getting closer. So hearing God's voice can really do that. The last thing that I want to talk to you about tonight is worship. Like I told you, my favorite thing, although it is way more than just music. Music is something really powerful, such a creative idea on Jesus's part. Music, it's so powerful. It's supernaturally powerful. Things that if somebody just told you the words, you might be like, okay. But they sing them to you, or you hear them in a song. It just goes deep right away. It just goes right into your heart. It's this incredibly powerful tool that can help us to connect with him and to have our walls down when we're with him. To just push everything else aside. Forget about all our little garbage problems and what we're worried about. Just set it aside and tell him who he is. One of my favorite verses about this is John 4:24. So we're going to look at that. And simply it just says, God is spirit. And his worshipers must worship him in spirit and in truth. And I love that because it's this perfect balance between head and heart. It's, that truth, like the Bible that we talked about before, keeping it based on what he says is real. We don't want to just have our walls down and be totally vulnerable and then be singing things that are against what he has said or aren't even theologically correct. We have to have that truth, but also in spirit. Be close to him. We don't want to do this robotically. We don't want to just okay, 20 minutes, I'm supposed to sing these songs. I know these songs. Yay. It's not that. It's like, Jesus, I'm just going to come to you. I'm going to tell you who you are. I'm going to remind my own spirit, but also just tell you, you're faithful every day. You've been with me through it all. You're the King of Kings. You're the Lord of Lords. You are perfect. You are holy, holy, holy. And just express that to him, just from your heart to his. We do it because he loves it. And that right there should be enough, right? That's what he says. That's what he likes. Then we should do it because he's worthy and he's worth it. And we owe him so much more than that anyway. But really incredible things also happen when we decide to put ourselves in that position of just walls down. I'm not going to protect myself from you rejecting me. I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to come to you like a child coming to a parent. I love you. I think you're amazing. Here's my offering to you. And just do that with him, for him. There's incredible benefits to us through that, but that shouldn't be the goal. That shouldn't be the point. It's really just ministering to his spirit, telling him who he is, because he's so good. It changes things. It changes our perspective even. Because when we come to him and tell him, you're faithful every day. I know that you are. I've seen it in my life. That's a good reminder. Yeah, why am I worried about the same things again? If that's true, then why am I freaking out? And it is more than music though. Again, I'm just going to reiterate that point. Again, same as a relationship with a person. If you're treating them like garbage the whole day and ignoring them, and then at the end of the day, you say, oh, I love you so much. I mean, how much is that worth? When you've shown the person the whole day, maybe that's not very true. With Jesus, we want it to be the same thing where it matters. I'm showing you with my life that I believe this. I'm showing you with my choices, with my actions, with my heart, with my whole day, with everything in me, every part of my life. I mean it when I say I surrender. I mean it when I say I love you. And I want it to have weight to it when I tell him that, when I come before him and just focus on who he is. I want my words to really have meaning. I want my whole life to show that I mean that. I do surrender to you. I do know that you love me. I do know that you're holy. I do also want my life to be holy. My actions are going to show that a whole lot more than my songs do. So I really want the songs that I sing to just be the icing on the cake so that Jesus himself can say, yep, I know that you do mean that. What an honor that would be. I really want that to be true. For him to hear those songs from me, from all of us, and say, yep, I know that they mean that. I really want that to be true. So, with all that being said, we're going to go back to what I started with in the beginning, about starting with a clean slate, about giving him a chance to be who he is, who he really is, not our impression of him, not with all of our filters, and we can have so many of them in place, not with all of our preconceived notions, our hurts, without any of that, putting that aside and saying, Jesus, I want to know you for who you are. I want a relationship with you. I want to try again. He's so merciful that he lets us try again. I don't want to take that for granted because I know I didn't deserve it. I think back to the times, again, I was talking about his pursuit. I remember one time I was a teenager. So you know how everything sucks when you're a teenager. And I took a walk on a back road because that's all we have where I grew up. And there's just a bouquet of wildflowers, like tied together, just on the road where I was walking. And I knew they were for me. It was on such a bad day. And I knew they were for me. And that's one of like hundreds of just crazy stories of what he's done specifically for me. And you can have the same thing with him. And it'll be something different because, again, he knows who you are. He knows what you'll connect with. He knows what you care about. He also teases me all the time because that's what I connect with. I have heard him laugh. I know that he laughs. I don't know if everyone else has heard how much he laughs, but it's crazy. It's part of our friendship. You know, he just does funny things with me all the time because that affects me. And it just changes everything. And I hope that tonight you'll be brave enough to try again. So I'm just going to pray for you. Just wherever you are, if you can receive this. Jesus, thank you so much for who you are. You're so good and you're so kind. You love every person individually. You know each person so well, and we want to know you too. Jesus, would you help us to start again with you? To take this chance and get to know you again for who you are, who you say that you are. Thank you for second chances. We need you, Jesus. Amen. Let somebody know if you prayed that. So we can be the community, we can support you, we can help you. This is a journey, but we want to be part of that with you. The next thing that we'll have coming up in this series is going to be Sarah Budd teaching about faith in action. And we all know her teachings are amazing. You definitely want to see that one as well. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Lisa, that was such an awesome message on how to build relationship with God. I am still here with Mark. Wasn't that a good message?
Yes, it was. Talking about me too.
Oh, you liked the part about talking about you earlier? Yeah. So,
Yes.
So many of you just commented on that toothbrush story and love that toothbrush story. So there's actually a second part to that toothbrush story. That day, Mark posted on Facebook, Danielle, I'm sorry I used your toothbrush to clean my hearing aids. I don't know why you're so mad at me. And tons of people commented, did they?
Yes.
It was hysterical. So if you want to go back many years to find that Facebook post, it's well worth it because it's entertaining, all the comments that people said.
I was in Ophir.
Should we say, yeah, you were at Ophir. Should we say goodbye to everybody?
We must.
We must, okay? So tomorrow we have Sarah bringing us a message called Living Out Your Faith. This is the first part of our Live in Action 2-part message. And in case you missed any of these messages, it will be uploaded to our website. And what's our website?
The Father's House Church on the house.
But no, that's not it. But good try. That was a good try. It's changeorville.org. And I can tell you that because I'm your sister. Changeorville.org. And you want to really watch these messages in order. But if you missed any, go to our website. They'll be uploaded to our YouTube channel as well. Well, that's it from Live from the House. I'm Danielle Devine.
I'm Mark Corsolo.
And we want to say,
have a good day, everybody.
See you later.
Bye.